People are out. People are out and about, going with the narrative, just going with the flow. Go along. I did that for a lot of years. Go along to get along. Went against my own personal principles and beliefs for a number of years. Marge, just do what we're doing because we're all doing it. But I don't agree with it. Oh, Marge, don't be a bad sport. Don't be a spoiled sport. What? Hi, welcome to my two. My name's Marge. I'm a Heilka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's been a high energy day. I had another one of those. I handled it better this time than I did the other day. I handled it a lot better. So I got in the solution yet again. It just kind of feels like I'm just my like those old-timey record players. Yeah. You know, you could slow them down. You can do it on YouTube. You can slow down the video, make it go slower, or you could speed it up and let the person go, you know. And it's by induction of electricity. That's what my body feels like on some days. I know it's one of those days. It's one of those days people get the energy's up. People vibrational frequencies are up everywhere. I always felt like spring was the new year though. It never made sense to me, and it was kind of funny. I was checking in on Zach to see where he's at. And he did a talk, I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about, he's like, look at it. It's a spring. It's supposed to be in the spring. Look at it out there. It's all dead and gray and gross. You know, there's like freaking I think this time is more about energy harvesting because people are more likely to consume more large, copious amounts of escapism because, so many people leave this time of year too. So people are, I mean, it's for a lot of reasons. Like if they say this is the end of the year, see, this is a made up calendar. Somebody said, and this is how we're going to be it. It was somebody, wasn't God. So they made up that calendar, and it's all imposed reality. It's all, but my natural clock was always drawn that spring was the new beginning. It makes more sense to me. And that's actually, I did a suicide briefing thing, like certification when I was in the Air Force. I always just try to take as many classes and learn as much as I could, use the resources while they were there, because I knew I was only going to do my 6 years and be done. And they talked about that people say that they think that the suicide rate would be higher around the holidays. That's not true. It's in the spring. So anyway, it was a pretty interesting day. Woke up, had God on my heart, like heavy on my heart. And it's probably all his counter energy for what's going to transpire from here on out. And started off by watching Evan Almighty, the sequel to Bruce Almighty, and I think I have one of those on DVD. I can't remember which one. Anyway, and then we watched this show called, it was the most beautiful synchronicity, because I've been wanting to watch this movie. I've been looking for this movie looking to watch this movie just to see what it was about, called God Is Not Dead, for like several years. And I'll even like think about it every now and again and see if I can watch it someplace without trying to subscribe to something. And after we watched that movie this morning, I don't know what channel it was on. It was on Roku, and it just went into the next movie, and it came up and it said God Is Not Dead. Or I started scrolling after that in the same channel, and then God Was Not Dead was right there, and I was like, holy cow. Oh my goodness. I said, Mom, I know what we're going to watch now. So I scroll to it, and I go to hit play, and it starts to play, and it had a little flag up on it that says it expires tomorrow. Everything is in divine timing. I understand that. My body just gets so worked up sometimes. My mind gets carried away with it. It wouldn't happen as much as if I had freaking like-minded people in my real life. I don't at this present moment. So, lessons learned. Anyway, and so I started watching it, and if people have an opportunity, I mean, it's not too corny, it's not too cheesy or anything like that, I don't think. And there's this one storyline with this lawyer, and the lawyer was played by an actor named Dean Cain, and he was on a TV show back in the 2000s, maybe even the 1990s. No. Anyway, he was Superman at some point, and people used to say that my brother looked like him. Well, anyway, he played a lawyer, and his sister was a so I don't identify with groups and denominations and stuff like that. I believe in God, the Spirit of God, good worldly direction. Don't hurt people, don't lie, don't cheat or steal. All that stuff that that Christians all say that they talk about, but there's so many of them that contradict themselves that I just can't jump on that Christian boat. I don't want to sink with it. So, I believe have a lot of the same belief systems that Christians have, as far as like not do all that stuff. They get it. Of course, you got the extremes that get carried away and do weird shit. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, so there's this one gal, and her brother was the lawyer, and she was talking to me like, you got to go see Mom, and he was being really rude and insensitive. That's what Mom used to say. Are you being rude and insensitive? Yes. Huh, Ma? You used to say that all the time, huh? You're just being rude and insensitive. So, he was being all rude and insensitive and saying, and he said something, what did he say? He said, I'll tell you, and Mom was in an old folks home and she had dementia. And he's like, I'll tell you what, if you go and see her and you ask her what 3 + 3 is, and if she can give you the right answer, then I'll go and see her. And I'm just like, oh my God. There's so many people like that. There's so many people on this planet like that. And so, but later on in the show, he actually goes and sees her. And she's sitting in the chair and she's staring off. And he starts in. He's what I think people would put the word narcissist on, I believe. That's pretty sure. Like when they say like he would be like this character that he played. And when actors play a character or role so well, they're not acting. They're not. They're showing you how they behave naturally in times in their regular everyday lives. So where was I? So he starts in with, here you are, probably the best person, the best person I've ever known in my whole entire life. Like the most good, like the kindest, you've believed in God your whole entire life. And here you are. This is how you end up. He's like, and look at me. My life is like near perfect and I don't care, all that stuff that goes with it, she kind of has like she comes into it about what she's about to say. You can see it. There's a shift in her energy. And she says, sometimes God gives people everything that they want in life. I mean, I'm sorry. I totally misspoke. She said sometimes Satan gives people everything that they want in life, and they give people these really good, perfect lives. And the reason Satan does that is so that people will never turn to God. And I was like, wow. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. And this movie was made years ago. Years ago. Everything's in divine timing. I didn't feel so compelled to send everybody in my contact list. God is not dead, though. But it was like that for me, it made the whole movie. Just hearing that. And then after that, there was a movie. Oh, it got and that's the thing. It got 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. 4.6 out of 10. The premise is, after he refuses to disavow his faith, the devout Christian student must prove the existence of God, or else his college philosophy professor, Kevin Sorbo, will fail him. And then the movie that came on next was Kevin Sorbo. Anyway, so when did it come out, though? March 21st, 2014. And then the last movie that we watched, it was The Girl That Believed in Miracles. That one was a little bit more on the far end of the spectrum. That was a little bit more hokey as far as like people would, I think people would. And that was just came out like last year. I thought that one came out, it was like one of those like old after school special type movies, but it just came out last year. So anyway, it's been kind of a heavy, I don't know, it's just not heavy. It's been just a really weird energy day. And I know that if you were to go and talk to professionals and you were to tell them how you felt, they would put words like mania on how I feel. And I equate it more to whatever placements I got are lining up with something in the sky and I'm just highly activated. It's just what you do with that energy, you know? So anyway, it was just, I don't know. There was one other point I wanted to talk about, and it's in the show. And I talked to my friend about it, my Earth Angel, today, and I was like, oh, I hope I can remember what I'm saying right now so I could talk about it in the talk, and of course I can't. So maybe it'll come back to me. There was another part in. Maybe if she's listening, she'll text me and remind me. Maybe that'll be a thing. So it was the part, that's what really got me, though. Is that it's just so, and that's what I see happening, is there's just so many people that are in their self-will right now. They're just completely running rapid. Tonight is one of those nights, and it's been coming up. I talk about it every now and again, and I mention it, and now it's like things are starting to happen where like, one of these periods before is when my sister died back in September. There's points, there's energy collection points that it's the weirdest thing. I used to be a heavy drinker for a number of years, that some days, like, I mean, it would take like 12, 14 beers to get a buzz. Like it was the trippiest thing, but sometimes depending on the energy and how it was, it would take like 3 and I would be like, whoa, blotto, right? It's the energy in us and how we respond to the magnetics, and alcohol just fucks with your magnetics and energetics and all that. Your brain waves, it just messes with your body, and I used to love the way it messed with my body. And so, that song's stupid. I hate remixes like that. So now's one of those periods of times that if people usually drink and stuff like that, just don't do it tonight. Just not tonight. Just enjoy the experience of being with the people you're around and trip out on other people and stuff like that. It's one of those nights. Anyway, less is going to be more to a lot of people. It is. And people don't have a lot of control for themselves as it is. I mean, I look around, I'm like, where is, like, if there was like a pie chart, there's a pie chart that people had, and it says, okay, how much discipline do they have? How many people would not have any of that color on their freaking color wheel with discipline on it, you know? Because people are just going around doing whatever they want. Today in history, I want to tell a story about a girl I used to know who's significant to me for several reasons. we were never like, we were friends. We were always friends. I never had a lot of girlfriends. Like, there's a lot of girls I was interested in, but they always had better other things to do. So, but we were friends, and she dated and actually ended up, her name was Tila. And her name, it was Tila. And she ended up marrying my one of my longest friends. Because I engage with him on Facebook. He lives back in Reading still, and I've kept track of him. You know, I mean, we've been friends way longer than Facebook has even existed. We go back like, I don't know, like 30 years, long time. I met him long time. So one of the longest people I've known. You know, and I saw him a couple years ago. He was married to a woman, and they put on Renaissance fairs and stuff, or she did, and he married into it, and then they did, and then they're now divorced, and now I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so this was his first wife, and he really, I mean, it was like, I don't know, that's why I think we're still friends, because I picture like life experiences that I've had with him, and he's a Aries male. He's an Aries, and he's so. That's probably why I got such a soft spot for my heart for him too. And I think he's the same age as, he's a couple years older. He's like 51. He's a couple years older than me. Anyway, well, in 1999. I grew up in Northern California in Redding, the armpit of California. And it was a cool place to grow up, though. It really was. I mean, like, if you like outdoorsy stuff and like stuff, like, my high school was probably like a 5-minute drive up to Shasta Dam, where the 3 Shastas are. Mount Shasta, Lake Shasta, and Shasta Dam. And it's a beautiful place. And in 1999, they put it on lockdown. Cause it was like the National Guard or something like that. There's proposed threat or somebody somewhere thought that somebody was gonna like bomb the dam. It was like a security risk that they were gonna bomb it like for 2000, like as a ritual or something, you know, because everything's a ritual. And so they actually closed it down, so there's no pedestrian. Are you in your brother's ear? Yes. But he's at Marge. He's in my earball, Marge. I don't know what to do about it. He said, Mom, don't give me, Mom. I get away from him right now, Mom. I do it. And don't beat my Mom. Don't beat me. So, 1999 Shasta Dam closed, security threat. Because they said, I remember watching like documentaries on PBS and shows like that. It's all anyway. They said that if something happened to the Shasta Dam, that Sacramento, if it was full, it's not full now. It's like, I don't know, it's down low now actually. But where they're getting a lot of rain, so I'll talk about that later. Right now, so it is filling up. But, so they had fences, they had barbed wire. I mean, it was like, it was on lockdown. Somehow, Tila managed to get past the security. See, when somebody is hurting, when somebody is suffering, when they just feel like it's never going to end, that's when they take the power back and the control back that they feel like they don't have in their life, and they just end it. So, she managed to get past all of the barricades and whatnot. That's how tenacious she was. She made the best crepes. She had a book on how to make crepes. I go over and hang out with her and stay the night and stuff like that, you know, crash at her house, stuff like that. She'd tell me about all the stupid shit I do the night before, but never look at me in judgment, and just held nothing but acceptance for me in her heart. And she walked out to the middle of the dam, and it's 603 feet the face of the Shasta Dam. And she just dove off. They found her 3 days later up the river, and she didn't have any clothes on. She just did it her own way. She left the world the way that she came in, is what I feel that was about. So she went out the portal, and my buddy is always reminded of this every year. I mean, he has a hard time with it, but this year it's like exceptionally hard for him because, he lives up in the mountains. He doesn't, and it's so weird because he's got all these friends on Facebook. He's got so many friends, like from the Renaissance and stuff like that. And it's so scary because the world is getting so scary, and it's like he's a good guy, and he can't find one person to take him in. Because everybody wants their own space. They're not willing to open themselves up. Everybody, see, because that's their self-will. They want people aren't willing to be inconvenienced. And in order to get the blessings and the gift in this life, we must be inconvenienced. Growth and advancement comes with pain and suffering. It doesn't come with just having things the way that you want them in your life at all times. It does not come with that. So he's been heavy. I sent him one of those. My heart gets touched, and I have an earth angel. That helps me out. And she helps me out in a lot of ways. She's emotional support. She helps us out financially. And she's our earth angel. I don't know where we would be without her. I honestly don't know. And so I told her, I said, I got this on my heart. Saul's he's up on the mountains, and it's cold, and it's just going to be raining for like 2 weeks. And I just put myself in that position because I hate being wet and I hate being cold. That's what empathy is putting yourself in the position that the person that you care about is in. And is there anything I can do to make his life easier? I do this with everybody, but there's people that I do it extra for, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm feeling extra. So I look online, I research all the time. I'm always researching solutions for, things in my life, other people's lives, because people are putting out questions all the time on the internet, and if I can help, I will. And so there's this on-demand hot water deal that exists. And I said, and you can hook it up to propane, and I know he uses propane. Now I got to get him a 12-volt freaking pump to push the pressure. So, well, I don't have to, but that's what he needs in order to get it to work. And if my intention is to provide something, and and somebody said, because he put a post up on Facebook thanking me. And somebody else has that same kind of system. And they said it doesn't necessarily keep you. It's not like hot water, It's like warm water. So it's not really rad in the winter. But he's been bathing in rainwater and water collected in a wheelbarrow and stuff like that. And that's not, and he's got so much hair, man. He's a hairy guy. He's got a lot of hair. Anyway, but he makes the best of it, and he does neat things because Aries are very creative. And he's more into the dark side of stuff though. See, I'm more into the light side of stuff. He's more into the dark side of stuff. That's all right. Whatever, I don't, as far as I know, he ain't never slit the throat of a goat. So as long as I, if I find out people are doing that, be well. I ain't into that freaking spell shit, manipulating stuff. I mean, doing a ritual dancing around the moon is one thing, but when you start taking the will and lives of others for your advancement, there's going to be hell to pay, and it's coming. So, the song in my ear, the whole world is sitting on a ticking bomb. Freaking people can feel it and they're acting accordingly, but they don't even know how to articulate what they're feeling. So they're just going to act in a way to soothe their anxiety or their emotions or their elation or whatever their heightened state. Because, I mean, I don't like being up here. I like being in the middle. I don't like being down here either. I just like being, I don't like, I don't like really exciting things. I've had too much trauma in my life. It was kind of a cool thing. I listened to a lady and she's been around for years and she's she's been in my recommended which is it's hilarious to me. She's been my recommended for like the last 7-8 months. She's been popping up and sometimes if there's things that I like, I got tricks. I got all kinds of tricks to fuck with the algorithm. You want to mess with the algorithm, just like we could break the internet if we want. But if there's something I'm into, I'll actually say don't recommend this channel. I'll do it with a lot of stuff. Every time the muskrat posts something on Twitter, I hide it. I don't want to see. I don't care if he owns it. I don't want to see it. I don't like you, muskrat. So now I'm getting all over the place. Actually, I didn't make cookies today. I'm kind of sick of cookies. I'm trying to do things different with different mediums. So I got this. A buddy of mine gave me this. So I'm trying to use it up. Can you see how green that is? Here, that's cool. You can, here. So I made blueberry muffins today. That's how dark it is. Like, it's chill. It's mellow. I think it's different, and that's cool, because anyway, this is the only green medicine. All green medicine is the only medicine I do. I don't take any pills. I don't take any, and a lot of people, there's a lot of professionals probably think I should. So anyway, it's a full spectrum day. But I'm like energetically I'm with Saul. And it's like just trying to stay dry. But that's what I was talking about is what he does. He's a good cook, and he does all these, like, I guess, cooking on a budget, which is like next to nothing. The guy doesn't have a driver. He's lived his whole life off the radar of society. And he's gotten by. It's getting harder now because, everything, Anyway, but he doesn't, have a lot of income and stuff like that. Or means to get stuff. But he's so creative and so resourceful. And he's a brilliant in freaking, he's a blacksmith. He's so multi-talented. He's got a lot of talent. So he makes these really kind of cool meals. He makes these really cool meals. He's articulate too, so that helps. And I keep telling, dude, more people would watch him if he did little short YouTube videos than watch me. Like that, I know he would catch on. It'd be hard. I don't know. He could figure it out, though. I keep encouraging him to do that. Lunch menu at Raven's Eyrie Inn. That's what he calls the place that he lives. Featured tomato soup and grilled cheese. He does have a dog named Rebel. Rebel stole my last bit of butter, so the sandwich was toasted in pizza oil, which is a thing. And a most excellent one. And then he just, puts his meals on a rock. And takes a picture. There's the thing that he's hanging on a tree. That's the thing that I got him. But if people could just put some just like positive vibes out there, just for all of the people that are just reeling. I understand there's so many people that are having the best version of their lives and everything's wonderful. I think it's hilarious. See, I think alcohol allows if people allow it by taking it, it will allow the ego to come in and completely push the spirit out. And I recognize the spirit as creator, God, good orderly direction, source, all the stuff that brings us up together, not all the stuff that divides us. So many people, there's so much division, and I see it in myself, and that's hard to look at when openly admitting that I think I'm better than you with my behavior sometimes when I go out in the world. That's not God would have. That's not what God. And I remembered a little while ago the second part of what I was going to mention about the movies that I watched this morning. And I just think it's so funny because, like, they're so telling, like Evan Almighty. Paul, if you go back and watch that, if people went back and watched that, because there's a lot of people that have never seen it, but it's so true. And then he starts having all these synchronicities. I mean, this stuff happens in people's lives. I mean, people are driven to be of service to others. It's just something that's in us. We can't help it. We take all the kittens home. We save all the things that we try to save. And for whatever reason, some people are just born that way. That's just how they are naturally. Me, I think it's just from so much disassociation. I see my missing parts in other people. The parts that didn't come back into my, when I came back into my body. You don't get all the parts that you start out with sometimes. Like my sexuality, my heterosexuality, that part didn't come back in. I wonder about that a lot, if that didn't happen in my life at 10 months old. If I could find a man and fall in love and be happy and content with. And it's actually even hard to say out loud. But anyway, stranger things that happen. So today was just a really wild day. And I don't really like feeling like that. And I'm glad that I feel better now. I took a shower. I took a nice hot shower. Well, because I can't. The older I get, I'm getting more sensitive. I can't tolerate extreme temperatures like I once did. Like, I used to be able to wash dishes in, like, scalding hot water. My body has changed because every 7 years your cells regenerate. You're not even the same person. So, it's like I've lost tolerance. Because I'm in year 48, so 7 times what? 7 times 7 is 49. So my body's going through another process of cell rejuvenation at this point. So, anyway. It was, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I'm past the 30-minute mark. Ooh, there's people in the talkie room. Hi, Cat from there. Happy not the... You're cute. Thank you. Mom, she said hi. Cat said, happy not really New Year's Eve to you and your cute mom and lovely critter. I got 4 dogs and cats. Cat. I got a cat, 1 cat. I don't have more than one. I said cats, but I didn't mean it. I signed a lease yesterday in Mercury when Mercury retrograde starting. Whatever. Go with the flow. Been a rough day for you. How has it been a rough day? Like energetically or just like... And technology? Oh my God. I forgot to mention that. How... the other night, I was getting so worked. I'm an electronic slider. So when I get worked up, my energy field gets heightened. I start freaking... Weird stuff starts happening. And the other day, it started happening. My DVD player isn't even a year old. I don't even think it's 6 months old. And I couldn't eject it. It was acting like it had a mind of its own. And so I said, F this, I'm not dealing with this. I had another DVD player back in the bedroom, so I just swapped it out. Because I was like I was picturing like throwing it, and I mean all this just like outlandish stuff. Nothing like setting it on fire or nothing like that, but just breaking it. And I'm just like, no, just swap it out. And then it started doing it like today on this DVD player. Not that I couldn't eject it, but it was technologically malfunctioning in really peculiar ways, and I've been worked up all day. I think there's critter. Oh, I see that. Okay, critters plural. Hi, PETA. Who is that? Luna? Is that you? What's the matter? Oh, I said I think that there's ghosts in here sometimes, and she you think she was supporting what I was saying? Hi. I think people's imaginations have been, I think it's backfired with the whole collective consciousness thing. Is for all this time, for 2019 years, people were like in school, they're like, hey, look at this, hey, read this, hey, believe this. And then all of a sudden they were taken out of that, and their imagination started to just run wild because they were alone and by themselves, and then the stuff they said. And see, when you imagine stuff, that's when we make it happen. That's when, like, and the more people collectively think about things, that's how we create reality. If something happened and there was a tidbit of information that was thrown out there, and all of a sudden the earth was flat, because everybody believes it. Perception is reality. We create reality with our perception. So when people are stuck in a mindset of fear, they're going to freaking go to the dark place, and then we're going to create a dark place, and then all the powers that be that know, how to live above that, they're like, ha, ha, they're doing our bidding. We're doing their bidding. So it's important to keep your faith bigger than your fear. It's very, very important. And tune out, man. Tune out. And just love on things. Love on things. Kiss on the little girl dog. She loves my kisses. I love her kisses. She's a very good kissy lady. She's so pretty and smart and funny. May I give you a kiss right now? She said, yes, I wish you would. I wish you would kiss me. This is weird. You're so weird. I'm real grateful that I'm gonna wake up in the same bed I go to sleep in normally, and that I'm probably not gonna feel terrible. Although sleep has been I got a little bit better sleep last night than I did the last few nights. So it's like I'll go 3 nights, but if I don't get any sleep on that 4th night, then I start really. I'll just try and rest during the day, and just. Because, man, sleep deprivation is no good. So, anyway. I was thinking about that, though, today also. It's like, how many people do have a power greater themselves, outside themselves, that, that guides them to do what's best for everybody, not just themselves? How many people do that? Because I look around, everybody just they just buy what they want. It was so funny, this Evan Almighty or whatever, because he becomes a senator, and then he drives this really freaking hopped up Humvee. And I personally disdain freaking Humvees. I hate Humvees. It's just it's oh no, did I get oh shit, water spilt on these. Ah shit. Oh craptastic. Oh, these are alright. These are okay. Where's that? Here, this one. I gotta finish cleaning this off. This is why I hate Humvees. If you can't really see it. Off to, in the front of that helicopter, Here, I'll just do it like that. Up here. Yes, Luna, we'll go walk around here in a little bit. Actually, that's not the right picture. These are pictures of Operation Iraqi bullshit. Oh God. Oh no! I gotta she hears this and not me. I didn't think that they were gonna do that here. You know what? I gotta get the other fan out, Ma. That's why she's whining. That's why she's upset. People, we're out in the sticks, so people are firing off guns and stuff like that. It's New Year's Eve to these fools. And I live around a bunch of Native Americans. They have all should know, people should know better that spring is New Year's Eve. Good girl, Luna. So I'm going to get off this talk now and turn the TV back on so it'll drown out, because she's the one that hates blooms.
Oh, scares her.
So I'm going to turn this one back on.
Good girl, Luna.
Good girl, Luna.
Good girl.
And then she's probably got to go out soon, too. Shit. I hate that. I hate fireworks, man. I've been putting on Facebook on comments about I'm a veteran of Air Force veteran, and I hate fireworks because they remind me in being in countries I had no business being in, being a part of killing people we had no business killing. People don't get it. It'd be no different if frickin' somebody started flying over and bombing frickin' Los Angeles. Same thing. Here's the picture. All of these. There's like 100 Humvees. That's what war is about. Making these machines so we can go kill people in places because our dick stopped working 20 years ago and we haven't seen our penis without a mirror in 25. That's about all I got for now. Hope